Hello dearies, welcome back to the Craft Kitchen. My name is Tina, I'm from Germany and I'm all about paper crafting. So let's say I'm a paper addict and a junk journal junkie. I really need my daughter to make me a t-shirt with this lettering, junk journal junkie. Or even a sweater or a hoodie, I don't know. Something like this. So, I've been in the garden gathering some really beautiful leaves. In most of Germany, let's say the end of September, beginning of October is the right time to get some leaves that are kind of like multicolored, not all the way through. Yeah, these are some exceptions. These are from our blueberry bushes. They turn from green to red like overnight. This still has some green and yellow in there. And what else? Peony leaves, still green with the hint of this burgundy red. Raspberry bush leaves, and you can hear they are maybe there, really dry, which is important for our project today, because I do want to preserve my leaves. I have no idea how to preserve those. These are actually hydrangea petals. Let me grab a white paper so you can see this better. There. This is what's left when hydrangea petals are drying on the bush. You got these beautiful nuts, and they are really fragile, but I'm not sure how to preserve them yet. I dried my leaves using my microwave, placing my leaves on a paper towel on a plate, putting another sheet of paper towel on top, and then another plate. So they were already pressed, kind of like pressed. Then I put my leaves in the microwave. Depends on the thickness of the leaves. These thin vine leaves, maybe for 30 seconds, and these thicker hydrangea leaves for about a minute. And then I placed them on a cookie rack, and when they're completely cooled down, they are still damp, of course, I put them in a book with really thick and rough pages, not coated, and the paper itself has loads of texture, so you can feel the fibers in here, and put like, don't know, 3 or 5 near the spine, here near the fold. Then the next pages again and again, and then, because I do have a lot of them, I just place 3, 4, 5 books on top, heavy books, and let my leaves sit for about 5 to 7 days, and they are completely dry. Oh yes, this is a really old book, was gifted to me. The spine has been repaired, kind of like repaired. This is so cute. It's, I don't know what it was, maybe a file folder, and attached with these clear tape strips. Yeah, see, this is why I told you in the other video that, let me see if I can show you, clear tape is not an archival option. Maybe you can see this when I pull the strip. There, the glue under the tape is, yeah, stringy, and you do have this ugly stains here. Well, in this case I really do like it because, yeah, this cover is telling a story, right? And the book also, of course. But I'm using this, especially this one, because of the pages, to dry my gathered leaves. So for preserving these dried leaves, we don't need much. I'll show you. To preserve my dried leaves, I'm using matte gel, acrylic medium matte gel. I've used Mod Podge matte also. I prefer matte because, yeah, the leaves are already matte, and I don't like the shiny look for vintage or grungy projects. This Mod Podge, of course, it would also work, but I found that even when this is completely dried for weeks, it still has a slight stickiness on it. I can't describe it better. And I don't want these bristle leaves to be sticky at all, because they could break when they stick to, I don't know, a piece of paper. So I'm not using Mod Podge. No longer. I have, because before I decided I want to have the matte gel at on hand at any time. Yeah, this needs a bit of explanation. I've been asked why I used this really expensive stuff. Yeah, there are brands way more expensive than this one, but I'm using these matte gels, especially this one, because you can water it down by 25%. I'm going through this in no time. I'm using this to collage, to preserve my leaves, to cover my book covers, so they are slightly sealed. I'm sealing tags and pockets with this, so this is my go-to medium. Of course, there are loads of recipes to make this at home way cheaper, but I haven't found a recipe. I haven't found a recipe while experimenting with this that doesn't need to have kind of like starch, cornstarch, wheat starch, rice starch, doesn't matter. Maybe rice starch, yeah, I could take this in consideration. The problem with the starch powder, the powdered grain, is, it's taking on the water and building kind of a, hi Shoki, my cat visiting me, kind of a biological reaction. Of course it is, because it is organic, water and starch both. And we know every organic being on this planet needs water to live. So I'm a bit afraid that when this starch is mixed with water, it's starting to live at some point again and getting moldy. I'm not ready to use my homemade gel medium yet. I'm still experimenting. Experiments can take quite a while, and until I know this is absolutely safe, I'm using this. This is quite expensive, and if you have to craft on a budget, on a specific budget, of course you have to calculate, and obviously you have to decide whether you're going with the nice to have things or the really important things you need to craft. So this is really important to me. So I'm absolutely okay with paying 20 euros for this, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a year. Instead of buying myself a new color collection, everyone needs to have. These are nice to have. So I'm spending my money on materials I absolutely do need. Enough of the explaining. So, like I told you, I can water this down by 25%. This is why I'm buying this, not the thin, because this is 2 in 1, right? Yeah, I'm putting some of my, let's see, yeah, this will do, some of my matte gel in here. So before I water this down, I'm showing you why I'm watering it. Closing up again. I'm placing a piece of plastic packaging on top of my container, and then on the opening, then screw the lid on, because this way the lid won't get stuck on the container. So much for this. So let's see. Of course we need brushes. Let me take away this water first, and yeah, some piece of non-stick surface. Silicone mat. This is baking paper I've already used to press some already bound books, so there might be glue on here. It's okay for me to use this with the leaves. And I'm placing my non-stick surface on a tray so I can take it away easily. So what I do want to show you, let me get another leaf. So this one I've already painted from one side. I'm using the back side of this. And now when I use this gel medium, as is, I'm painting this on with a flat, soft brush. So when I paint this on here, I will definitely get some brush strokes on my leaf, and you actually might be seeing them even when it's dry. I'm placing this here on my tabletop so I can show you later. So to prevent these brush strokes on there, I'm just using a bit of water and start to water this down until I think it is still thick enough, but also runny enough to paint it on the leaves. So this is, yeah, I'd say the consistency of white school glue, maybe a bit thicker. Let's see. No, it's about, yeah, white school glue. Of course you could use school glue for this, but like with the Mod Podge, this could still be sticky after it has dried. Bit more water, and you actually want to have a glue for this that of course dries clear. Matte or shiny is your decision. Most school glues dry shiny, but is still flexible after it has dried. So yeah, now we do have the consistency, yeah, more like pudding, right? Yeah, it's a bit thicker than school glue. This will do, and I'm just placing my leaves here and going over this with my brush. You still will have the brush strokes, of course, but since this is runny, they'll eventually vanish when the gel is dry. So let's see. Also painting the stem. So now I'm letting this dry. Obviously I don't want to have these thicker marks on here. I'm going to make this a bit more even. I'm going to let this dry and then I turn it over and paint it from the other side. Yeah, I wanted to show you another thing. I do have a leaf here at hand that has somehow folded while drying it. Yeah, of course it was my fault. Haven't been careful enough. So let's see. I've added a second layer of my more or less liquid matte gel. Maybe it is already flexible enough. Yes, it is. So I can pull this open. I'm going to put some on the back side too. So I can pull this open and hopefully get this flat again. Yeah, you see, I can push my brush in there already. So let's see. Yeah, there you go. There, flexible enough to not tear. And now I can open the fold. Yeah, if it decides to stay open like this, and when the gel medium on top of this is dry on both sides, I can press this again. I'm not going to have this wavy edge here. So I got my dried leaves coated with matte gel back and front. Everything is dry, and as you can see, they are really flexible. Let me show you these raspberry leaves, raspberry bush leaves would have crumbled away like nothing before I coated them. Also the hydrogena petals, but they're quite sturdy. So now I'm going to press them again here in my book and leave them here just overnight so they can be flat again, and then I'm going to put them in this wooden box with my summer and spring leaves. I don't have much, just a few for decoration now and then. Yeah, everything close to the folds, and then just picking another, yeah, and putting my leaves in there. So, and for the yeah, kind of like skeletal hydrogena leaves, I decided I'm not going to preserve them because in this state they are already preserved. But I will... Do I have a white? Yeah, sheet of paper. I will keep them in this tiny envelope. When I'm about to use them, I just get one out and glue them on with matte gel also. And then if the bottom layer of matte gel is dry, I'm just putting another layer on top. So this will be properly glued down to my pages also. These are great. So I'm going to take care of my leaves. This leaf also. There. This will be flat again after I've pressed it in my book. Now perhaps this was a bit helpful and you might want to give it a try and maybe use some other glue. I really would like to hear from you what glue worked for you. Just leave a comment. For now, thanks for watching, and as always, stay creative and be excellent to each other. Bye!